Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hello and a very good morning to each and every one of you who's tuned into Pakistan TV and watching World this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, I happen to be Shahzad Khan, and with me I'm really lucky that I've been joined by my wonderful and my very well-learned colleague who happens to be Miss Naila, Shuja. And for each and every one of you, we hope and pray that everybody out there is doing wonderfully well and that you're ready to kickstart your day with us. But first things first, hello Naila, assalamu alaikum. Good morning. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling amazing, Shahzad. You look absolutely spectacular. I feel like we're twinning today. A little bit of red. I love it.
Thank you so much for saying that as well. And I think it's for all of our viewers who could actually think that we are in sync and the chemistry is phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Right?
No doubt about that.
How have you been?
I've been really good. I've been enjoying the weather. Yesterday, Islamabad had some beautiful weather. A little bit of winter has crept up on us, and rain fell yesterday. It was spectacular. I really wanted to indulge in pakode and samosa, but obviously that was not a possibility.
Really? It wasn't on the charts?
No, it wasn't.
Why wasn't it on the charts? I mean, if you felt like it, you should have done that.
Man, I'm on a diet. I'm on a diet. I got to take care of my health, you know?
And so this is exactly where I'm going to stop now. Well, for that, ladies and gentlemen, you're certainly in for a treat, as we will be updating you, on a couple of stories that we've been building up on. There are some newer stories as well, which we would want to bring your attention to. So I think first things first, I'm going to let Naila take the lead today as well. So Naila, let's just dive into the highlights. What do you have for us today?
Absolutely, Shahzad. Viewers, now today, President Asif Ali Zardari made it clear that Pakistan has rejected any attempt by India to weaponize water or unilaterally suspend the Indus Waters Treaty, emphasizing that these steps are both illegal and intolerable for the 240 million citizens of Pakistan. He further reminded the world of Pakistan's double burden of climate change, which impacts and the cross-border threats, while reiterating Islamabad's commitment to peace, social justice, and regional unity.
Exactly, and in addition to this, obviously, the Honorable President Asif Ali Zardari actually meets the United Nations chief as well. We will be building up on that. But on the other hand, ladies and gentlemen, certainly we have been building up on this story, and it's great to see that, how the first ever Muslim mayor has been elected for New York. Democrat Zohran Mamdani wins at the New York mayoral race. The self-described Democratic Socialist was relatively unknown just months ago, and surged to victory with promises to tax millionaires to pay for expanded social programs. And I did speak about that how Mr. Donald Trump in a statement did say that, it will be very hard for me as a president to give them a lot of money. So I don't know, what the future holds for New York now.
But I feel like it's going to be in good hands.
Yep.
In the next segment that we have would be on we are well aware that thousands of Sikh pilgrims have crossed into Pakistan. Over 2,000 have already arrived at the Gurdwara Janmastan in Nankana Sahib to mark the 556th birth anniversary of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Now, this event highlights Pakistan's commitment to preserving religious diversity and welcoming the devotees from abroad, reinforcing the country's role as the custodian of Sikh heritage and as a beacon of peace and pluralism in South Asia. Now, Pakistan has time and time again risen above politics to help and allow people to travel to Pakistan to practice their religious beliefs and faith, and Pakistan stands in solidarity with all those who choose to practice their faith freely.
Exactly, well that's great, and we saw as Pakistanis or Pakistani government setting a great example for people, whose religious priorities probably lie within the land of the pure, the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. We will make sure that, that we can be as hospitable, or we will be as hospitable as we've always been and known around all over the globe. In addition to this, we will be coming back to sports, where certainly that's the subject that I would want to include every day, every single day on my morning show, to kind of influence all of those youngsters that sports is something that you really need to play every single day. But Pakistan cricket team has been phenomenal as of now. We won the T20 International Series. We drew the test by 1-1 because South Africa is visiting. After a long halt in Faisalabad, I think after a decade, ladies and gentlemen, we saw how Faisalabad Iqbal Stadium was filled in with spectators to view Pakistan playing against South Africa, where Pakistan beat South Africa with 2 wickets in the first one-day international Faisalabad to take 1-0 lead in the 3-match series. And in addition to this, we will be in conversation with a 15-year-old talented boxer from KPK.
Wonderful.
And he has made the nation proud by winning his international debut boxing bout at the Asian Youth Games in Bahrain. So we will be in conversation with Jayyad Hussain as well. And let's see what he has to say about his first win, ladies and gentlemen. I think on a debut, winning is something where it looks like as if, the next game or the next to next one or the next to next to next one will certainly be a victory for Jayyad. That's exactly what we were hoping, but how is he preparing? We will be talking about that. As of now, we're heading out towards a short break. All you need to go do is, if you love chai or if you love coffee, go ahead, grab yourself a cup of chai or coffee, come back, and we'll be right back over here unfolding all of these stories. Don't go anywhere.
Absolutely.
We'll be right back. We are World This Morning.
Welcome back, viewers, to World This Morning on Pakistan TV. We have a very exciting segment for you right now. The first segment that we will be covering is the second World Summit for Social Development in Doha, where the President of Pakistan has gone to Doha specifically to interact with all of the world leaders as well as the international organization heads. He has met the UN chief, Antonio Guterres. He's further met the Iraqi president and the Khatak president.
And alongside these lines, the Prime Minister of Qatar came especially to meet the President in the hotel. The President is saying that during the meeting, both sides discussed expanding bilateral relations, promoting trade and enhancing investment opportunity. President Zardari praised the Qatari leadership for its measures to safeguard national security amid Israeli aggression and lauded Qatar's efforts in this regard.
Absolutely. And furthermore, the discussion of weaponization of Indus Waters Treaty will not be succeeded, and the development must begin with the betterment of the people. Now, for this, I will love to introduce to you our wonderful guest for the moment. He is none other than former Ambassador Mr. Nasir Ali Khan. Thank you so much for joining us here at World This Morning, Mr. Khan. A huge privilege and pleasure that we have you here, because we have a bunch of questions that we want to understand from the diplomatic perspective. Starting off with the fact that, the President of Pakistan has met the Iraqi president and the Tajik president. Understanding this, especially with the social development initiative that is being carried out in Doha, let's talk a little bit about trade and energy as well as the benefits for Pakistan's economy.
Well, you see, as far as these two bilateral meetings are concerned, we already have views that are converging, and we do need to meet more regularly. It was very important that this meeting took place. And the commonalities as far as Iraq is concerned, there's a tremendous potential still for investments and for infrastructure development after the war in Iraq. So the convergence is where you have on the one side opportunities for trade and investment in Pakistan, and on the other side for companies from Pakistan to go and contribute in Iraq. And the president invited our president, and so Mr. Zardari said that as soon as your elections are over, we are going to meet. I'm going to visit Iraq. As far as Tajikistan is concerned, it is not only important as far as the SCO is concerned, but again, linkages as far as BRI is concerned, connectivity for the whole of Central Asia, and Pakistan can continue to be a conduit for trade and investment in Tajikistan, through Tajikistan. Now we are also getting more tourism from Pakistan to Tajikistan, and I think we should also promote within Tajikistan the opportunities that exist in Pakistan, because our tourism is also growing.
Exactly, and we will certainly unfold that, and dive a little deeper into it, and we will certainly bring into our conversation where how the Indus Water Treaty still stands in abeyance, and how the Honorable President of Islamic Republic of Pakistan have spoken about it, that we will not allow India to weaponize it. Ladies and gentlemen, stay with us. We're heading out towards a short break. Don't go anywhere. We are
World This Morning.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're still in conversation with Mr. Nasir Ali Khan, who happens to be a former ambassador, speaking about the second World Summit for Social Development in Doha. And that's exactly where I would want to bring in, the Honorable President, Mr. Asif Ali Zardari's words, where he said that outlining a roadmap to translate to Doha Declaration into action, Zardari urged the world to unite around three pillars: dignity, equality, and solidarity, emphasizing global financial reforms, debt relief, equitable transactions, taxation, and expanded social protection. What's your take on that one?
Well, first of all, I must say this conference is extremely important. It was a long time coming because basically the last conference that was held, the first one, was held in 1995 in Copenhagen. So one of the problems that such meetings have is that of implementation, how to translate these words into actions. And now I think there is even a greater need for something like this because, the whole map of, when you talk of employment, for instance, along with artificial intelligence and automation, a lot of people will either get unemployed very quickly, and this is in the very near future,
Exactly.
or they will have to retrain themselves, reinvent themselves. So there are certain areas where great numbers of jobs will be lost, and certain areas where there will be few new jobs that will be created. But the reason that I'm mentioning this is because developing countries like Pakistan and India and all, they were benefiting a great deal from things like outsourcing, whether it is data punching or small amounts of software that we were able to make, and call centers. And these are jobs that very quickly may be lost to artificial intelligence and bots which will be able to do customer service work and things like that. So we need to be very aware of the future, and we need to retrench ourselves and retrain our personnel in that respect. Now, the conference itself has three major areas: poverty, and then job creation, decent jobs, and inclusion within society of people who are less privileged sometimes, whether they are disabled, whether they are child labor, whether they are women who are working. And the other important thing as far as Pakistan is concerned is that we have a very large informal sector. So it's very difficult to actually implement these things when 70% of the workforce works in the informal sector. Now, when you have a formal sector, there are people who have jobs in registered companies or large organizations. They get a proper contract, they get some benefits, and at the same time, they are able to contribute to the economy by paying taxes. The informal economy, on the other hand, although I must say they don't pay direct taxes, but they do pay a lot of indirect taxes. So, once they come online, I'm pretty sure that the taxation system will become more just, because then you don't have to tax everybody through indirect taxation to collect these taxes.
But then how do you think, I think building up on this further as well, how do you think that we certainly will have to then look within our own system as well, where we go to the rural areas where all of those ladies who work at the farms as well, all of their salaries are unaccounted for, probably, nobody knows whether they get paid or not, so, and that unfortunately within the institutions we did see, so obviously I think for Pakistan it is a relatively newer term of human resource as well, where people are being looked after or probably fired from the same office. But don't you think that in retrospect we'll have to come back and sort the things out within our own circle, whether that's how things need to be?
Yes, exactly. I'm talking in the context of Pakistan, because you see, when I talk about artificial intelligence and jobs being lost, there are many areas, and agriculture is one of them, that cannot be replaced by artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
But the problem we've had in Pakistan is that the agricultural economy, we've never been able to successfully document that. We do not tax large agriculturists, and we do not have people who are documented within that agricultural economy. So once you have that, then onwards from there you can also at least document the other workers and give them incentives. because-
Exactly. And while you've mentioned about that, and since it's all about social development, one of the core issues that, that is in abeyance, and, the Honorable President has spoken about it at the summit as well, that's the Indus Waters Treaty, which is in abeyance. On the other hand, we are most vulnerable to the climate change, and we have
Absolutely.
seen losses of more than $40 billion in the previous years and even this year as well, unfortunately. How do you think that, that the world needs to come together and feel the pain for Pakistan and kind of do something where we're talking about social development?
Well, for a start, if the world wants to come together, it has to conform to international laws. There is a system on which the world runs. And in the case of the Indus Water Treaty, not only is it totally illegal, what India is doing, the Permanent Court of Arbitration has ruled against it. But the interesting thing is that India has said that we don't recognize this court. Well, the overwhelming number of the rest of the countries do recognize it. And if you want to be part of the international community and behave or conduct yourself on the international rules-based order, and to be part of that, you cannot say that the Permanent Court of Arbitration is something we don't recognize.
True.
Absolutely.
And not only that, there is a ruling of the Permanent Court of Arbitration that they have jurisdiction in the case of this treaty. Also, the Indus Water Treaty is one of the soundest, most strongest treaties internationally.
True.
And people have, quoted the example of a treaty which has withstood the test of time. It was made in 1960. So this is something which should be of concern to the rest of the world, and I'm very glad that the President took this opportunity to highlight this in a forum like this, because it also, as we have declared, we would consider it an act of war, because clearly what they would do over here would cost us lives.
True.
That is
Yeah.
something very, very serious. So we are not going to tolerate this, whether they recognize a court or they don't recognize a court. But when you are in a forum such as the one in Doha now, and you get the opportunity to highlight this, it makes it very obvious what the intentions of the Indians are. And how they intend to conduct themselves on the international stage.
True. And absolutely, thank you so much, for sharing it with our audiences as well. And that's exactly how the world actually needs to understand it, and how their moral conduct needs to be internationally or within the international community. But thank you so much, Mr. Ambassador, for
Thank
being
you
with
so
us. Lovely to
much.
be in conversation with you always. Please keep the energy same, and keep on rocking the floor just as dapper you are. Alhamdulillah. So for each and every one of you, ladies and gentlemen, well, with this, we're going to head out towards a short break. But once you come back, we will be talking about the unprecedented mayoral elections of the New York City and how the first ever Muslim mayor has been elected in New York. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Good morning. We are
World This Morning.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. Moving on towards our next highlight, where right at the beginning of the program, we did mention how Zoran Mamdani actually becomes the first ever Muslim mayor in New York City. And I don't know what the future holds for New York City, because Mr. President Donald Trump wasn't really very willing of this candidate to come into power. But the self-described democratic socialist was relatively unknown just months ago and surged to victory with promises to tax millionaires and to pay for expanded social program. Well, that's great. I mean, the way that he speaks, it looks like as if he's very charismatic, looks like he's the left-wing version of Mr. President Donald Trump. And in addition to this, looks like as if he's going to break all the old, rules.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what the people of New York City actually wanted. To speak about it, we're very lucky that we have been joined by the senior analyst from Washington, United States of America. He is Mr. Faiz Rehman. Hello, assalamu alaikum. Good morning, Faiz. How are you feeling today?
Yes, good morning to you too. Walaikum assalam. Actually, it's also good morning here because it's, what time is it here? It's 12:34. 34
Thank
minutes
you
after
so much.
midnight.
Thank you so much for your time, but it looks like as if, that the people of New York City have actually made a decision, and no matter what the President Donald Trump said, they went for Zohran Mamdani, the first ever Muslim mayor to be elected into power as a mayor in New York City. What do you make of it?
Well, first of all, as you pointed out, I think it's totally unprecedented, and it will be this election, the campaign itself, the structure, the message, the personality, the charisma. I think is going to be taught in universities and in political sciences, science courses all around the world, not just in America, because it really has created some waves, not just for Mr. Trump in Washington, but also within the Democratic Party, as you know. Even as of right now, we haven't heard, even though he did congratulate him, the opposition leader in the US Senate, Mr. Chuck Schumer, Senator Chuck Schumer, who is also from New York, he represents New York, he never endorsed a Democratic Party leader, a stalwart, he never endorsed Zohran Mamdani. So now it feels as if they are very, anxious. There's a lot of anxiety within the party because something has happened of unprecedented proportions. But I will go back to, one of your points that you mentioned in your intro, that he is the left-wing version of Mr. Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Don't totally agree with that, and there's a reason, and let me explain to you why I don't think so. So first of all, he is not a lefty. Being a democratic socialist is a very technical political term. It doesn't mean that he's a lefty, number one. Number two, if you look at the politics, yes, even Mr. Trump is not a right-winger per se, but he appealed to the right-wingers and the white nationalist portion or the part of his party. And that's why he was so successful in basically trumping the support or, whipping up support from within his party. What happened? Trump's politics was divisive. He approached and he appealed to the white working class, as opposed to Mamdani. He appealed to the entire working class of the New Yorkers, not just blacks, not just whites, not just Latinos, not Jews, Muslims, everybody. There were 75% of the youth, that is from 18 to 29 years old youth, they all voted for Mamdani, regardless of their race, their background, their religion. There were Jews in that group. There were Pakistanis, Muslims. So I mean, he did, of course. He came out as a person. He was totally transparent when he said, "Yes, I'm a Muslim. I'm young." He said this in his speech and in his victory speech, and I am a democratic socialist. And I'm proud of that, quote unquote. But that's not what it defined his campaign.
I truly get that, Mr. Faiz, but where I actually said that he's the left-wing version, I was quoting CBS News New York. And in addition to this, I think what we would want to kind of speak about it, how the President Donald Trump said that, that if Mamdani comes into power, it'll be very difficult for me to kind of give them the money. Not just that, Mamdani plans on taxing the millionaires and, make them pay for the expended social program. How do you see that? Do you think that it will be challenging for a person who's for the very first time who became the mayor of the New York City?
So that federal money is not Mr. Trump's personal money. True. America is still a democracy, and today it was made very clear, very loudly and clearly to the entire world that America is still a democracy. Yes, one person is very powerful here, but he doesn't control everything. He doesn't control every purse within the federal government. There is a Supreme Court. There are several district federal courts throughout the country. And that's the reason he hasn't been able to pull out all of his tricks that he's been planning over the years to basically execute. So he hasn't been very successful in his agenda, and he is still a frustrated man. So what I'm saying is, yes, he can send out all the threats on his way, on Mamdani's way, all he can, he can choose to do whatever he wants to do. But at the end of the day, America has a system. Yes, it's a test for Mamdani to make sure that whatever he's been promising, taxing the rich, lowering their rents, offering free transport, lowering the grocery prices, and what have you. Yes, that's all possible, but it will take a lot of competence and efficiency. And that's what his message actually to the masses was, that yes, it can be done provided we have some efficiency and common sense and competence within the bureaucracy. Let me
You know what? Yes, Mr. Rehman, you spoke about competence, and that's something that I want to touch base upon. New York being a pro-democratic state since, the 80s, right? Understanding this, the response from Barack Obama saying that the future looks brighter, what can be said as compared to the Republicans, or what the Republicans are going to be analyzing for the state of New York for the coming years now?
So that's a great question. So basically, New York mayor controls the local government, and local government is largely an apolitical entity. I mean, you don't consider too much politics because you're talking about people's day-to-day issues. We're not talking about big banner issues on the national level. So at the end of the day, yes, he's a democratic socialist. That's not an issue anymore. But he has to go out and resolve and solve people's issues, their day-to-day life, as small as running trains on times, making sure that he lowers the fares for those trains for the single mothers. So that's what he's been promising, and that's what he's going to focus on. Republicans and Trump, of course, they don't want to see somebody who's not like them in such a position of power and popularity, being so popular, not just in New York and in America, but worldwide. He has become such a phenomenon, and it's a burden of I would say what you call sorry. So yes, he is unfortunately he wasn't born in this country. So he can never hold a national office like, White House or, even vice president. But he can be a governor, he can be a senator, a US senator. But still, I think he has left
Grassroots, right?
Exactly, but thank you so much, Mr. Faiz Rahman, for being with us. It was lovely to be in conversation with you. Thank you so much for highlighting how, he's going to be a trailblazer for a lot of people who might not be born in the United States of America, but still can be out there and helping other people. In addition to this, just very quickly updating my audiences, how in Virginia, Democrat Abigail Spanbender wins the election for governor over Republican candidate Winsome Earl Sears. And in addition to Virginia, voters in several other states are casting ballots in the first major elections of President Donald Trump's second term, a series of tests both for him and for Democrats trying to decide how to oppose him. Polls are also closing in New Jersey, where Democratic Rep. Mickey Sherrill is hoping to retain Democratic control over the governorship of GOP candidate Jack Ciattarelli. According to preliminary CNN exit polls, voters in key races were dissatisfied with President Trump and concerned about the economy. It looks like, there's been a major shift in how people have perceived their roles. But in addition to this, I think what I would want to bring to people's attention, that's something that I wanted to speak about. We were short in time. That how when the President Donald Trump actually visited United Kingdom, he really did say quite a lot of good stuff about the London mayor, Mr. Siddiq. And now, unfortunately, he wasn't really backing up Mr. Mamdani. But for these Muslim people to be out there, I think will certainly reshape how the West have actually influenced the rest of the world under Islamophobia. And I think that's exactly what people will learn, that Muslims have been great people lately, very hardworking.
Absolutely.
And we make sure that we bring about that change.
Absolutely. Shahzad, I actually want to add to this, coming a little bit towards Pakistan.
Sure.
Pakistan has welcomed around 2,000 Sikh pilgrims from India. And this has been such a warm, welcoming gesture by Pakistan to welcome these Sikh pilgrims from India for Baba Guru Nanak's 556th birth anniversary. And even so, Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif extended heartfelt felicitations to the Sikh community in Pakistan and around the world on the 556th birth anniversary of Baba Guru Nanak Dev Ji. He said that Pakistan is promoting peace, equality, tolerance, and compassion for all humanity, especially regarding this whole event of welcoming 2,000 Sikh pilgrims.
Exactly, and in addition to this, the Honorable Prime Minister highlighted that his teachings on love, selfless service, and interfaith harmony continue to guide generations. He expressed pride in Pakistan's role as custodian of sacred Gurdwaras, including Gurdwara Janam Asthan in Nankana Sahib, and reaffirmed the government's commitment to protecting minority rights. And, that's exactly what I did mention, Naila, right at the beginning, that, that Pakistanis, maybe Pakistanis and Muslims all over the globe, really very hospitable people, and we prioritize whatever is your priority. We will make sure that we give it to you in a way that is best suited and well suited to people who are actually traveling to Pakistan. So, that's exactly what I would want to say to all of our Sikh brothers who are actually visiting, and a total number will probably be surging around 3,000 pilgrims, who Sikh yatris who are making way to Pakistan. Pakistan have opened their doors with a lot of welcoming gesture, with a lot of smiles. And wherever you may probably be, and if you will come across Pakistanis, we will make sure that that you just feel like at home. And that's exactly what our mission is. That's exactly what our passion is, and that's exactly what our Honorable Prime Minister have spoken about. And we're really glad that that we are the custodian of all of those sacred Gurdwaras. How we always make sure that that we give them the welcome that they deserve, and that they are able to fulfill their religious obligations in a way which is best suited. Wow.
Absolutely, Shahzad. Culture, heritage, hospitality, that is something Pakistanis are well known for, not just in Pakistan, but throughout the world.
Which is why at this point of time, ladies and gentlemen, to kind of allow you to go grab another cup of tea or coffee, we will go for a short break. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. We did speak about, how the first one-day international went down, where Pakistan actually emerged victorious in Faisalabad Iqbal Stadium, where after a decade, the action went back to that stadium, and Faisalabadis couldn't really keep calm, and that was the best part, where how Pakistan beat South Africa by 2 wickets in the first one-day international. Faisalabad to take 1-0 lead in 3-match series. Batting for South Africa were bowled out for 263 runs in 49.1 overs. Openers Quinton de Kock and Luandri Pretorius gave their team a strong start with a 98-run partnership. De Kock remained top scorer with 63 runs, while Pretorius scored 57. Proteas captain Matthew Bretsky added 42, and Corbin Bosch made 41 runs. For Pakistan, Abrar Rehman and Naseem Shah bagged 3 wickets each, while Saima Ayub claimed 2. In reply, Pakistan achieved the 264-run target for the loss of 8 wickets in 49.4 overs. Openers Fakhar Zaman and Saib Ayub provide 87 run stand for the first wicket. Fakhar made 45, while Saim added 39 runs. Player of the match Salman Ali Agha remained top scorer with 62 runs, while Mohammad Rizwan scored 55. For South Africa, Lungi Nigiri, Donovan Ferreira and Corbin Bosch took 2 wickets each. The match marked the historic return of international cricket of Faisalabad, with the last international fixture at the venue played in 2008 between Pakistan and Bangladesh. The second ODI will be played on Thursday at the same venue. And I'm going to stay with cricket for a while, if you allow me, Naila.
And Shahzad and cricket go hand in hand.
Yeah, and everybody do remember that, that within Asia Cup, how Mr. Harith Rauf had made some gestures and whatnot. So imagine, and then from the other end, Surya Kumar Yadav couldn't keep calm, who was the captain for the Indian cricket team. Well, the International Cricket Council confirmed the outcomes of several code of conduct proceedings arising from matches being played in the ICC Asia Cup 2025. ICC has imposed 30% fine on match fee of India's Surya Kumar Yadav and Pakistan's Harith Rauf for bringing game to disrepute during Asia Cup 2025. Surya Kumar Yadav was found guilty of a breach of Article 2.21 of the ICC Code of Conduct and received 2 demerit points. Pakistan Sahib Zada Farhan was found guilty of the same offence and was issued an official warning, receiving 1 demerit point. And Haris Rauf was also found guilty on 2 occasions and fined overall 60% of his match fee. This takes Rauf's total to 4 demerit points within a 24-month period, resulting in 2 suspension points under the ICC's disciplinary framework. Rauf had repeatedly mocked the Indian players and fans by using the plane shot down gesture. Meanwhile, Indian pacer Arshdeep Singh was found not guilty of an alleged breach of Article 2.6, while Jasprit Bumrah received 1 demerit point. But, you know, in all honesty, it was 6-0. You know, so you can fine as much as you would want, but yes, that's exactly what happened.
You're too much.
Yeah. But now, ladies and gentlemen, where I did mention how, you know, Jayyad Hussain, 15-year-old talented boxer from KPK, has made the nation proud by winning his international debut boxing bout at the Asian Youth Games in Bahrain. We're very lucky that we've been joined by him. Hello, Jayyad. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. Sangai, how are you doing, brother?
Walaikum. I'm fine. What about you? I'm feel better.
You made Pakistan
Hello?
proud, you made your parents proud, you made yourself proud. You know, on a debut bout, you were able to win. How do you feel, first of all, and what is your plan of action for future? Jihad, can you hear us?
I feel very proud and very uh, good about debut match and first international event, and I defeated UAE in my first fight. It was a very good and good
Exactly,
for me.
exactly, Jihad. Jihad, imagine that you're just 15 years old, and why would anyone advise you to get into boxing, and that too at such a young age or tender age?
Actually, my father is a die-hard fan of boxing, and he support me a lot. And he told me to go the boxing because your physique and your style is naturally goes and make for the boxing. So he suggests me you to start the boxing. And but initial days I was not sincerely play my boxing game. But after some time, when I lost my first fight, my father were very furious because it was in the decision of the fight it a little bit conflict in the decision. So from that day I decided and I start struggle and hard work, and in a very short time I got alhamdulillah I got very success in my game.
Exactly. Well, that's great, and which is why I'm going to ask you now. You know, who did you take your inspiration from? Was it Mike Tyson? Was it Muhammad Ali? Was it the new fellows who've always been around as well? Was it Mr. Khabib? Was it Conor McGregor? You know, who did you take your inspiration from for the fights? You know,
Was it Shahzad?
Yeah, no, it wasn't me. Yeah.
You know, Amir Khan, mostly people said me your style and your physique match to Amir Khan. And from my childhood, I am very inspired from him. And nowadays, I am also following Amir Khan.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, I have
Very good
interviewed Amir
inspiration.
Khan on multiple occasions. He's a great guy. He's got an AK Academy over here, and he promotes and supports a lot of people. Which is why I will ask you now. So imagine that on your debut you have won your first ever bout. What is your plan from here onwards? Are you going to take boxing as a professional career? Are you going to prepare? Are you going to travel? Will you be in talks with foreign coaches? How are you planning your future?
Yes, I'm trying and I'm struggling, and inshallah, I will also represent Pakistan in Olympics, and I have a dream to go the Olympics and win a gold medal for Pakistan. But for this purpose, I have a request and to the Pakistan Sports Board and also the DG Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Tashwin Haider sir. to support. If they support a little bit more boxing, so there have a lot of good boxing can emerge from Peshawar. But we will. In recently, I go to the Asian Games and represent Pakistan. But in these all the event, I just compare one thing in myself and in other player, that is the facilities and the international level coaching and the camps that are available. They have all the facilities, the modern facilities and the international level coaching and the training camps. They provide, their government and their federation provide them. But if we see in our country, in our side, they have no good facilities and no international camp. In a very limited facilities, we present and we give our best, and the result is
I
in
think
your
that's
front
great,
of
and
you.
that you're still able to garner results. It's wonderful, and we hope and pray that you've been heard as well. But while we were watching
Yeah.
these clips of your first ever bout where you actually won and defeated UAE, imagine that my wonderful co-host over here, Miss Naila, she said
Yeah.
that that you fight so well that she was really impressed, and she would want to ask
Yeah.
one last question from you. So Naila, please go ahead.
What is your technique? I'm looking at all of these videos. You're literally moving so swiftly, but you're stinging like a bee. What is the technique? Where is that motivation coming from when you're in, this bout?
My height is, I'm so tall, and I will supporting to my height and my physique, so I will do my attacking techniques. I will do attack, and after that when I dodge and the counter the opponent attack, and after that I will again attack. So the my technique and my basic style is attacking game. So that is my style and technique.
Yes, and thank you so much for making Pakistan proud. Thank you so much for making your parents proud, and please make sure that you continue to inspire. We want to wish you best of luck, and we wish that that you've been heard by all of those dignitaries who could actually, if they bring in their support, that you could do wonderfully well for Pakistan and inspire a lot of other children. And how you're so positive about that there can be so many other amazing boxers all the way from Pakistan, which we do believe in. Alhamdulillah, and Pakistan has got a lot of talent, and given the right path and the right facility, I
Absolutely.
think everybody can do well. And not just that, I think I would want to kind of address the Prime Minister's youth program over here, and Mr. Rana Mashood to kind of look into Jayyad's journey over here, so that we could actually see another hero emerging from Pakistan. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, look after yourself. That's it for us. We are World This Morning. Bye.